So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this fourth and final inspiring memory session of the European Days of Jewish Culture 2023. As we are already 2 minutes ahead of the time that we want to start, we're going to start right now. If somebody else joins the meeting, they will be very welcome. We are delighted to have you all here today on this virtual platform as we continue and finish our journey of exploring the theme of memory through these inspiring memory sessions. As many of you already know, the European Days of Jewish Culture is an annual festival celebrated in more than 30 countries across all Europe. Its mission is to promote and share the rich cultural heritage of the Jewish community with society at large. This year, our focus is on memory, which is a concept deeply ingrained in Judaism, shaping its identity and ensuring its continuity. However, we invite you to explore memory from various perspectives, ranging from the more traditional to the more avant-garde ones. Our aim is to provide you with a diverse range of approaches that will inspire your own activities in the upcoming 2023 festival. To achieve this, we have curated a series of 4 inspiring memory sessions where experts in the field of memory and Jewish culture will or are presenting innovative approaches and ideas. These sessions aim to spark creativity and offer new ways of engaging with the concept of memory. Before we proceed, I would like to express our gratitude to our speaker today here, Vered Glickman, for her valuable contribution to this project. We also extend our thanks to all of you for joining here today. And additionally, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate the presence of our esteemed honorary president, Madame Claude Bloch. Lastly, I want to thank my colleague, the director of IPJ, Victor Sorensen, for being here with us today. As we wait for the start of this session, I would like to just take a few moments to remind our dedicated organizers and activity coordinators about the valuable resources we have made available at our website. These resources are designed to assist you in planning your activities for the European Days of Jewish Culture. On our website, you will find the editable poster and graphic identity for this year's festival, allowing you to customize and promote your events in line with the festival's visual theme. We also provide a range of training materials that offer diverse perspectives on the topic of memory, ensuring that the activities will resonate with participants from all backgrounds. Furthermore, our system for uploading the activities to the festival's official program is at your disposal. You can access the system on our website and begin submitting your activities right now. For institutions coordinating multiple events simultaneously, we have developed an alternative solution. This system will enable bulk uploading for activities to this official program using a CSV file. To explore this option further, please contact me at my email, which is edjc@jewishheritage.org. Last but not least, I am delighted to announce that the exhibition produced by the National Library of Israel is now available for your use. This captivating exhibition can be printed and incorporated into your activities. It is also provided in an editable format, allowing you to translate and adapt it to local languages and contexts as well. Now, without further ado, I have the enormous honor of introducing our speaker for today, Vered Glickman. Vered was born in Tel Aviv, where she lived until she moved with her family to Budapest in 2005. She studied in the High School of the Arts and later at the Tel Aviv University, where she received her PhD in philosophy of mind. She taught courses of the history of philosophy in Tel Aviv University and Haifa University. After moving to Budapest, Vered joined the activities of the Jewish Agency in Budapest in 2008 as a supervisor of the Hebrew teaching at the ulpan. She then became involved in founding of the Israeli Cultural Institute of Budapest, and shortly after its opening in September 2010, she was appointed the director of the institute. In that capacity, she has organized a rich variety of Israeli cultural programs, fostering engagement in Israeli and Jewish life among the young generations of Jewish community in Budapest. Among other things, she took part in organizing an international conference on art and the Holocaust, and she curated an exhibition on Holocaust representation in graphic novels in 2015. She currently lives in Vienna, to which she moved with her family in 2020. We were very honored to have Vered participating with an article at the Practical Information Kit, and it has aroused some interest and attention. That is why we are very, very grateful to Vered for agreeing to come back to do a session with us. Now, without any further ado, please let's welcome Vered Glickman. Vered, thank you very, very much for being here today. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much, Federico, for such a long introduction. And thank you for all of you. Thank you, Victor, and the organizer, and all of you that joined us. Okay. Holocaust and street art. When I mentioned this topic to students of mine, the response was, "Oh my God, I don't think people would like it. I can think of some people who would feel very uneasy putting these two notions together." My reply was to send him, the same student, the presentation that I'm about to show you, because I think that there is no need to be uncomfortable with putting these two notions together. And that's what I'm going to show you, I hope, to argue for today. And so I'm going to present you quite a lot of examples of street art commemorating Holocaust. And what I'm going to leave for the smallest second part of my presentation would be I don't know, sharing with you some ideas for programs that can be inspired by this topic. Okay, so I'm going now to share, and very, very important, we are not a big group. You're more than welcome to come up with any question. And as you know, I'm Israeli, so I'm not afraid of people cutting me or you know, so feel welcome. Let me just see that I am okay with sharing my presentation. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah? Super. Okay. So, first of all, street art and commemorating, let's say, traumatic past or traumatic event from the past. With that, that's actually no problem. There are, as you can see, I found two examples, but there are numerous others of street art as public memorial. One example that you can see here is the mural in Tulsa, that the mural is commemorating the massacre of Black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the other one may be more, I don't know, maybe you're familiar with the mural. That's not a mural, that's an art, street art made by WK Interact in New York, commemorating the firefighters that sacrificed their life in 9/11. So, and this is only two examples. So what is the why do we feel a bit unease when it comes to the Holocaust? Let me try and, okay. Let me try and phrase what might be the concern. Street art is often seen as a form of rebellion or a form of self-expression. It is an independent art form which was originated as defiant graffiti, guerrilla art, even vandalism. So can it be serious enough, responsible enough, sensitive enough, not to actually to make a contribution which would be positive, non-provocative to Holocaust remembrance? So that would be one concern that we might have. The other one is that street artists, the majority of which still prefer to remain anonymous, will they be willing to go beyond their kind of loner ideology and use urban space to raise historical awareness and inspired Holocaust related artivism? Artivism is actually the combination of activism and art, meaning being active through art. And that is against current manifestation of neo-Nazi, anti-Semitic, racist, or any other anti-liberal ideology. So these are two concerns, and what I would like to do as a response is actually to show you multiple examples of street artists who actually commemorate Holocaust in a very non-provocative, very educational, very respectful way. And they are coming from different countries. They are having different personal and artistic backgrounds. They are using different art media and techniques, and they are working within different cultural contexts. Okay, so that means that it's not like typical to any specific place. To be honest, the only place where I didn't find an artist who dedicated his art, like street artists, to Holocaust was Israel. But that's another topic, and we can discuss that later. So the first two artists that I want to show you are doing something which is, I think, brilliant, and they are responding to actual hate graffiti that they found in their neighborhood. The first guy is Ibo Omari. Ibo is street artist. He also runs a street art shop and workshop in Berlin. And he didn't really like, he was not happy with the swastika graffiti that he saw in his neighborhood and in other places in Berlin. So he came up with what I think like a really interesting idea, and that was to paint back. So let's have a look at what they did.
We'd long wondered how to respond to these hateful messages, and then we said we'll respond with humor and love. I just had the idea of drawing a head around it. Here it's a house, for example, and here it's a billiard ball that's running away.
Okay.
Wussten Sie, dass Ihre Nase Gerüche mit der Zeit...
What's the, okay, let me go back. So, okay, the solution, the idea that Ivo had was to actually repaint the swastika with a positive, nice graffiti. And what I also find interesting, what I also find very inspiring is the fact that he involved also youth doing it, and it later on it actually spread on to other cities, not just Berlin. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Vered Glickman, she is an Israeli artist who visited Zagreb in 2008. And she was appalled by the number of swastika that she saw on the walls. And she kind of like asked around her fellow artists, have you seen that? And nobody actually saw it. So she wanted to comment on this kind of blindness of people to the hate graffiti around them. What she created is a Braille graffiti. And she wrote in, I think it's like in Croatian, she wrote in Serbian, Croatian Braille. She wrote, have you seen it? No, I didn't see it. And there was also a dictionary here. So she kind of like commented on the fact that people don't see, I mean, that she wanted them to see the swastika around them and to respond. That's another example. By the way, later on, Vered took this idea to Israel, and there's a lot of Braille graffiti on the Tel Aviv walls today, not necessarily related to the Holocaust. Okay, the next artist that I want to share with you his art is Akut. Akut, of course, is the name of a Brooklyn-based artist by the name of Lohman. He was inspired by an exhibition that was actually a project that was curated by a filmmaker, Luigi Toscano. Luigi interviewed a lot of survivors, first generation and second generation survivors, and he created an exhibition of close-up photos of them. And it was a traveling exhibition. So it visited a lot of cities, also in Europe. And when it came to Vienna, of all places, it was vandalized. And what happened, and that's I think the nice thing about it, is that people, after it was vandalized, people kept guard of it. They had been in turns, they took responsibility, and they make sure that no other incident like that would happen again. So that's where the Akut stepped in, and he said, okay, I'm going to do a mural. And the first one he did was in Mannheim. He chose two survivors, one first generation and the other was second generation. Bella is the second generation. He painted their portrait, also with a quotation from their interview. And as you can see at the bottom, it also drew the people in Vienna who guarded, who protected the exhibition. So that was also an important thing for him. And and also the fact that it's in colors. It's not black and white. It was very important for him to actually send a more positive message with this colorful mural. He did another one in his hometown, another person from this exhibition. Lacuna is another interesting artist. He's also German. He preferred to remain anonymous. So we actually don't know his real name. And he writes that when he was young, he was really impressed by a book that he read about the Yellow Star. So the first Holocaust-related mural that he created was, as you can see here, oh, sorry. Well, I thought that I have Chinya, a moment. Yeah, so the first mural he did in a festival in Düsseldorf, he actually drew the picture of deportation, and instead of yellow star, he put red star. When I showed this presentation in Barcelona, it wasn't like there was, we don't really know. The bottom line is, why is it red? People say maybe because it's like blood, maybe because it represents something positive, spring. And the thing is that for Lacuna, it's very important that the message would be, the picture would be clear. And this is a quotation for him. It is my intention that the image and the text are clear so that people could understand them. So it's, even if we don't understand, we don't have an answer why it's red and not yellow, we still we are able to phrase the question. So we understand the mural. And it's important for Lacuna because he started as a graffiti artist, and he said that graffiti is something that you have to be in the know-how, in the know-how or the know-what, because there is like an internal language there. And he wanted his mural, his art, street art, to be understandable by everyone. The other project that Lacuna did was to commemorate the memory of Leni Vogt. That's in a city in Germany, Goch. He did it in 2021. Leni was murdered at the age of 10. She's the only one in her family who murdered. There is a very tragic story behind it. But what he wanted to do, as you can see, there is a portrait of the family while she, Leni, is only as a silhouette. That's on the main place. And he also put her, he also drew her in other places. I'm not even, by the way, that might be a sticker. In other places in that city where she lived, where she worked, where she played. So he wanted to actually say something about her life and to kind of bring back her life. Bringing back is also the topic of Iris Andraschek. Iris Andraschek, she's a Viennese artist. And this is actually an art piece which I myself saw when I was in Krems. So in Krems, a small town in Austria, there was a research tracing all the around 100 women victims of the Holocaust. There is a list and information about them. Iris wanted this information to be out there. So she created a project together with a museum in Krems, which named by Ich bin hier, I was here. And she stenciled carpets on the pavement of the city. If she knew where the woman lived, then the carpet would be near her place. Otherwise, she just drew it she made a trail in the city. And the carpet, as you can see, contain information, name, and some information about this lady. I met with Iris and I asked her why carpets. I thought maybe it's related to the fact that it's like women art or something like that, but no. What Iris was thinking was that carpet for her means home. So all these women were deprived of their home. They were either driven out or killed. And she wanted kind of bring them back their home, but notice that the home is not inside, it's in the outside. So she kind of created the outside, the pavement, a home for those victims. Another project, which is a bit different, and that's why it's also quite interesting, that was done in Barcelona. And that was a cooperation of many partners. The main partners was EUROM, the European Memory Organization. And they actually bring in Rock Black Block. I hope I read it. That's the artist. And there was other people who were involved, including students of art school. So they kind of prepare the whole project. They study about the topic, which I think is brilliant, the fact that you are kind of involving students in first studying and then executing the work, the piece, the workout. And they also included, so what came out of this project was this street art. As you can see, there is the artist evoke the mouse by Art Spiegelman. I thought it's interesting because that's kind of a way to deal with the Holocaust memory via comics, and also the fact that the people are not portrayed as human beings, but as mice and cats. But the other thing that I think is quite interesting that he did, he also commemorate the memory of Catalan victims of the Holocaust, which he said are not really honored any other places. So as you can see in this, I don't know, symbol of camp, their name is woven. So I think it's also a really nice way to convey the message. So, okay, the concept of home, it's also kind of in the focus of the work of these two artists. They are both Israeli. They are a couple in real life. Maybe, I don't know if they're still a couple, they used to. And Nitzan is very famous by doing poetry street art. So she's like covering the walls in the streets of Tel Aviv with her poetry. Her partner, Dede, he's known for his plaster, like medical plaster that you put. He's doing a lot of art with that. But they were invited to Lodz. So now we're in Poland. And they did some work in Lodz and in Ostro. And the work, that's a bird by Dede. Very typical to his work. The bird is made out of leftovers or wooden furniture, like wood, pieces of wood of broken furniture. He's doing it a lot. Here he created a bird, probably an immigrating bird. So for him, it's like immigration, and also maybe, if you wish, spring can also be part of it. And that was the work of Nitzan. She put on the walls of the former ghetto of Lodz her poem. It's in Hebrew, but there was also a translation to Polish of that. And here it's in the synagogue, the old synagogue of Ostro. As you can see, it's in both languages. And that's very typical art by Nitzan. And now we move to Italy. And a very famous street artist, Eron, again, not his real name, he created two artworks. One is made in the former ghetto in Forli, a city in Italy. And the other was, as you can see, it's the Auschwitz, the train of Auschwitz deportation train, and he drew Anne Frank on it. Let's see a short video. So as you can see, there is it's very typical to Iran to create images which are very realistic, this is a kind of like the striped pajamas of the prisoners, the prisoners' clothes hanging as a laundry in that that's by the way a place where a couple of hundred of Jews were deported in the very last days of the war, so they could have been saved, but the Italians were the ones who insisted on deporting them. So, and that's how it looks. Okay. Almost we're almost at the end. This is another street art that I want to show you. That's not about, which is not about the Holocaust survivors, but about the righteous among the nations. Together with the Artists for Israel, they, I think it's like a New York artist, Ski, created a mural in honor of Tibor Baransky. Tibor Baransky saved actually with a lot. I mean, he's Hungarian, and he his action contributed to the he saved a lot of Hungarian Jews during the war. He was honored as the righteous among the living, and that's, as you can see, saved 300 Jewish lives. The style of Ski is like more pop out, but so that's part of what I said, that we have different techniques and different styles, and it is not limited to any of them. And in the quotation is from Alan Dershowitz, from the founder of Artists for Israel, and he says, we wanted to create heroes within countries and societies and communities, and say this is what standing up to hate and fascism looks like. So there's a clear message, a clear picture that convey this message. Okay, there is a video. I'm not going to share it now, but Federico, I'm be willing to share all this presentation with whom wants, and there's a lot of links, so just check for more information in the links. Okay, so I hope that what I was able to show here with all these examples is that street art is not just that it's commemorating the Holocaust, it's doing a good job in commemorating the Holocaust. In fact, I would say that it might even doing a better job than art in gallery. Perhaps even, and I'm not absolutely sure here, but perhaps even a better job than official memorials, state memorials. Why is that? Because I think art in the streets is accessible to a much larger number of people and from various walks of life. No previous intention to visit or any kind of preparation is required. It's simply there for us to watch. So I think the fact that the art is in the street is extremely important. And I mean, think about it. If you go to a gallery, you need a preparation, you need to buy a ticket, you need to know about it. And I think the fact that you just stumble across this thing, I didn't plan to see the carpets in Krems. I was in Krems and I saw it. So that was amazing. I was really impressed. I learned about victims of the Holocaust, Austrian women, victims of the Holocaust, more through this meeting, this encounter with the street art. Another point is it invites us to actively engage with the artist while they are painting or stenciling. Iris, which I talked about, and again, I'm talking about Krems, she said that while she was stenciling it, first of all, by the way, she invited also families to stencil with her. So it was kind of an engaging project to start with. But while she was doing it, a lot of people stopped walking, talked to her. There were dialogues. Not all of them were, by the way, positive, but still there was a dialogue. And later on, she regretted not documenting it. She thought it could have been a very important part of the project. By now, by the way, the carpets did not take these. They were washed out. Okay, in most cases, Holocaust-related street art is straightforward, easy to understand and to respond. It does not necessitate a professional introduction or a guide. You don't have to be an art savvy to decipher the message of the artwork. And I think this is very important. It doesn't have to be cliche or anything, but it's clear, it's straightforward, and it doesn't make it's not sophisticated. And we try to educate. So being too sophisticated or something like that might not fulfill this purpose. Street art can relate directly to the event it depicts by being placed in the historical location, thus having great impact on the audience. So I think that's kind of, again, an advantage on art in the gallery, not necessarily better than any other or memorial in the street. Maybe, yeah, depends on, of course, of what you do. And I think that's also a good point. It's an unorthodox approach to commemoration of the Holocaust. Especially, by the way, in Israel, people are looking for different approaches. And also when targeting younger generation, people are looking for other ways to tell the story. It was a bit controversial, but a couple of years ago, there were, I think it was a young woman, a girl and her father who created a story in Instagram as if it was a story made during the war by a Hungarian girl by the name of Eva. So it was Eva's story. Not everybody liked it, but there was an attempt to bring in also the younger generation to be engaged, to think of, to respond. So all these are kind of, I don't know, what I think is positive and prove that there's no need to be uneasy with combining Holocaust and street art. But tell me what you think about that. How do you feel about that? Okay, so I'll tell you how I feel about that, and I don't feel so good about that. That's a street art that was actually done this year in Milan, in the Shoah Memorial Institute of Milan, and this is not the first time that this artist, Alessandro Palombo, is Simpsonizing the Holocaust. He did it previously with some kind of posters or something that he published that was not on the street. But as you can see, he put the Simpson family in gas chambers and, I don't know, in Auschwitz and really. So, okay. What I want to, why do I bring this example? I think that, and that's, by the way, the only example that I could find that I felt that I did feel unease about it, is that it's not really clear what we can achieve by Simpsonizing the Holocaust. Palombo עצמו rights. We must educate the new generation and tell them what happened. We must do it without filters, bluntly, over and over again, through the memory of facts and terrifying images that reflect the horror of the Holocaust and the extermination of millions of human beings. So the mission is not something that of course I'm sharing the mission, but I'm not sure about the way, and I'm not sure that without filters or bluntly it's really working. And the person who shared my view, but sorry, sorry, that's it. Is the critic Anna Goldberg, who wrote, she by the way commented on this series of, I don't know, press design. And she said, ridiculing Holocaust imagery, will only add to the overkill we already experiencing thanks to the internet, and might result in exactly the opposite of what Palumbo had envisioned. Showing terrifying image without filters will not lead to more awareness, but to people losing their filters. So it's maybe we should be sensitive, even when we do street art. I mean, that I think is something that needs to be. But of course, that's an issue that it's open for discussion. It's open for debate. Maybe Palumbo is right. As I now actually showed you those examples and kind of raised the topic, the questions related, I want to go over some ideas that I suggested for programs. Some of these ideas may require more time, capacity, manpower, I don't know. But you can take from it whatever you want. So I'm still going through them. And I'm really open to hear what you think and discuss any of the things that I presented here. So one obvious thing that you can do is what all these artists did, to create, to curate, or to organize a mural artwork. You would need an artist, maybe local, maybe to invite someone, permission to, unless you have a venue which you can paint on, and so on and so on. I would recommend also to include the way Yoram did, to engage also school students in this kind of project, and also to document it. I think it's quite important. I know that the Yoram did it, and it's really, I think, especially since art, like street art, have a very usually short life. So documenting it might make it longer, and I think it's important. Another idea, related one, is to have a workshop. So for one, I would love to take part in such a workshop. You don't have to be, I think, an artist. You saw what Ibo Omari did in Berlin. So you don't have to be a very proficient artist if you want to create something interesting and nice out of swastika. But so you can either engage one of your local artists, or maybe invite an artist that you know, Ibo Omari, Vered Glickman. They would love to take part in any kind of program. What about creating stencil, graffiti stencils? So this is a very common thing in street art. So you can actually invite an artist or a designer to create a stencil. And once you have a stencil, you can actually stencil it, and you paint it on different places. let's say that we do it legally. Yeah. So that's another idea. Okay. Infographics is one of my passions. I love it. I love the fact that you convey message in a very clear and very concise way through visual, in a visual way. Not really street art, but it can be. And I'll just show you an example of the infographic. Roni Levit is one of my favorite infographic. So as you can see, she did something in, I think in Israel, so it's in Hebrew, and it's about the electricity usage. So, and there were like other examples of her on the street. That's actually maps that she drew on the map. So this is information in a graphic image, like artistic way, done on the street. So you can't really evade it. you have to see it. Here, by the way, is what are you eating? And this is the CO emission of the different things that you here are chicken. I mean, this is a completely different topic, but I'm just giving it as an example of how infographic can also do. By the way, you can guess what this is. This is meat, beef and mutton. Okay. Let's go on. Another idea is to create a map of Holocaust-related street art. There are a couple examples that I showed here. It might be others. It could be nice if we have like a map of Europe with all these places. If it's a virtual map, then and like clicking on the spot can bring in all the visuals and the information. So it's of course up to you what you can do, but I would love to have something like that done. Postcard series, another passion of mine is postcard. Why not? I mean, that would be the simple things to do. You don't even have to have a designer at your team. I mean, Canva would do. Just download the pictures and create a postcard series, and that can be with some information, quotation or something on the back of the and you can actually offer it to people at any event that you have. Street art guided tours. Now it's a bit okay. I show you street art that are in Poland, in Italy, in Germany, and other places. So you can't have one guided tour, but maybe you can, I don't know, maybe there are more than one. Maybe the swastika can be an interesting topic to a guided tour. And another idea that I have is to actually contact Kesher. So Kesher is like a project by two of my former colleagues from Budapest. I mean, Dorka is from Budapest, Sebastian is from Spain. And what they created is a virtual place where you can join Jewish related guided tours in all the cities in Europe. During Corona time, they did a virtual guided tour. So I envision what I see in my mind, but I'm not sure it can be done, but is like combining, like asking they have a lot of contacts of guide tours, guides in those places, and just contact them and ask them at one day to go to a place and maybe talk about the art, or interview people that passing there, and asking them what they think. And if you have this like in different places, like 5-6 places, wow, could be a great event. Podcast. Again, if you have the capacity, if you have a friend who is doing podcast, could be interesting to invite people to talk about. Now we are not doing, this is the more intellectual part of the program. So that can be an interesting topic for a podcast, I think, and can be involving artists, academics, survivors, and so on. And an exhibition. My whole interest, by the way, started with me thinking of doing an exhibition. Exhibition, I don't particularly like street art exhibitions, because that's kind of the opposite of what street art is. I mean, street art is in the street, not in the gallery. So a friend of mine suggested, and it's, I think, a brilliant idea, to take the images and screen them on the walls, not just as a kind of lot printing, I don't know, posters or something, but screening them, and it can be on walls of a ghetto, former ghetto, or any kind of interesting place for that. By the way, you would need rights, I think, copyrights for these photos. But if any of you is interested in any of it, I would be more than happy to help with any kind of execution of these topics. And the last one is panel discussion. So another way, it can be a very simple way to raise the question of street art and Holocaust. And that can be with the local, with the invited guest, as if. So that's it, actually, from my part. So thank you very much for your patience and for your hakshava, listening. So toda rabba, and I'm now, I think, I will stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Vered, for this amazing. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, thank you very much for this inspiring talk. It was so interesting and touching. And on top of that, all of these proposals for possible activities for the festival are simply brilliant. Really, thank you very much. I have some questions to ask you, but first I would like to open the floor for our organizers here who want to ask maybe some doubts or questions. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask your questions to Vered.
Vered, Toda, thank you very much for the amazing presentation. I'm joining you from Philadelphia in the USA. It's city #1 of mural art in the world. And it was really very, very informative, beautiful suggestions. I'm here from the Izmir project. And some of the things that we were thinking about actually was to bring some mural, because actually my daughter is a director of the Institute of the Mural Art in Philadelphia. So I have very good connections to this whole project. But for us in Izmir, Turkey, it's a little bit different, because we are actually celebrating, we would like to celebrate the help that the Ottomans have given to the Jews more than 500 years ago when they arrived to Turkey. So we are going to be in a much positive mode as we are going to introduce. Our project specifically will highlight the ancient rabbinic library that we salvaged approximately 20 years ago, with 2,000 of books with rabbinic inscriptions in them, that brings a lot of the culture of the Sephardic people, with stories in Ladino, in Hebrew, with different characters of writing. So we're looking to incorporate all of this. And yes, street art was something that really came up, and I'm so happy to be able to participate in this presentation and get all the wonderful suggestions. By the way, about the red star, I think it's connected to the Schindler List movie, because over there, if you remember, the girl with the red coat. So I don't know when he did this work, but since the movie of Schindler List with the girl with the red coat, the color red became a symbol of being lost and of innocence. And maybe this is the reason why he's using the red start in this case. Actually, the red has become a color that was part of many places depicting things in the Holocaust after the movie of Schindler's List. But really, thank you very much. I got a lot from your presentation, and I'm really very excited to continue working on our project.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Really, and thank you for the suggestion of yeah, sounds plausible, definitely. I'm happy with any kind of ideas. By the way, I would love to learn more about your project. Part of my family comes from Saloniki, so Ladino is something I'm really, I would love to. So Federico needs to.
Promise to be in touch.
Yeah,
I promise to be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will, of course, help you with this connection. We have Debra and then Marta.
Hi, that was absolutely fascinating. Thank you, really. I just wanted to ask one question that came into my head. I can't remember the name of the first one, the students who were, or the young people who were going out and turning the swastikas into art, which I thought was amazing. So obviously the swastikas were graffitied, and then what happened after became street art. So did they have to get permission to do that, or they just went and did it?
Yeah, I mean,
in a lot of places, graffiti is illegal and you can be fined for it.
Yeah, but I don't think that anybody would, you know, do something with sanction what Ibo Marie is doing. It was all over the media. So, and I think he was really accepted by organization and all that. He was fighting anti-Semitism.
Right.
So he did something which they could have. I mean, one thing is to clean it. But I think that it's a much stronger message if you don't clean it but turn it into something positive. So that's, I think, even honestly, I think it's brilliant.
No, it's inspired. It's just really interesting. It came into my head.
Ibo Omari, that's the name. As I said, I can share the presentation so you would have all the information there.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is wonderful, but actually we will then upload the presentation together with the recording of this, this session, so that everybody can use it and search for the links and everything.
The links sometimes are hidden behind pictures, so you need to, it's a bit of like treasure hunt, but
okay, so it will be a fun quest. Marta Puig from Red de Juderias in Spain, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. The goal was to inspire us, and we really did it. And I wrote down many messages to work in all reality that all of us have. First of all, I would like to make a disruptive comment regarding to the Simpsons wall street art. I really hate it. I don't like it, but always art has a message, no? Sometimes we don't see it, and sometimes it has to hurt us. And maybe the message we will get if someone put it in a place where respect is supposed to be there is that no anyone could be out of a disaster like that. No, it's a message that we can say that even the people that you will never connect to this, everyone should be connected to this. No, even the Simpsons. So. That's what we should everyone respect, even though we have to say if we don't like it. I don't like it, but I will try to find the positive message out of it if I found it around. And most, if I found it, and overall, if I found it in places where people have thought about it previously, and places that where respect is something that is supposed to be. Really thank you to make us think all of those things that come to our mind and that I loved. I just came yesterday from another chat that was about Ben Shaprut and about how can we relate figures from the past to nowadays. And all these presentation was about streets that had their names, prices that had their names, novels, concerts, poems that past people has come out with nowadays things to connect to those. Okay, those were things that I wrote down. And yes, I would like to add as to if I could help someone with it. I have a lot of problems regarding I'm managing more than 20 cities in Spain, and most of them are World Heritage, and we really have problems with permissions. And what we have worked out lately, that is not exactly the same, but that has worked out very, very nicely for us, is removable work art. I mean, something that can be done in clothes or can be done in panels, that it's something that can be done for a period of days and that can be removed. That really makes it easy for many places. And I just wanted to add as an option for World Heritage places, and I think it's a good idea to come with it. Last year, for example, we wanted to make it more participative to many people in Spain. And regarding, I love to make one activity, the same activity in the more than 20 cities in Spain, which is something with budget and organization and permission. This makes it really hard. What we did were huge butterflies there. Remember the last year's posters. So we painted huge butterflies and we placed it in really hot spots in downtown cities. And we wanted everyone to make a selfie with their butterfly, and there was a QR with a message there. No, sometimes I think we will do something that has to do with the street art, but not directly affecting in a definedly way. No, so. Again, thank you so much. Not always, as I am always traveling around and really busy. I'm not always, I don't have the possibility to attend these sessions all the times that I wanted, but today was something really inspiring. Thank you so much. And of course, Donna, we do have to work on your project too, so we will connect Philadelphia to Sephora, definitely.
Yeah, thank you, Marta. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. And also, by the way, the concept of street art is very wide and flexible. So it doesn't have to be a mural on the wall. And so, of course, I mean, anything that you do, it can be even a performance, or it can be sticker or something that can be removed. So it's definitely it's art in the street. In a public space. So I think that would already, and also thank you, by the way, for helping me to understand the Simpsonizing thing. Maybe
I think you're horrible.
I kind of it's just too blunt for me, but it's true. I mean, maybe you have to, yes, it can happen to everybody in the everyday family of, this is what the Simpsons are symbolizing, or so maybe and
the very thin, the very narrow between what it makes us laugh and what it makes us cry. No, it's something that can touch edges. And
there was a lot of media related to this art.
For example, that's another
so
point.
It really created some sort of like awareness, a kind of a buzz. So maybe it did what it, people were talking about it, people were happy, not happy, doesn't matter, but people were, the topic of the Holocaust was there because of this provocative, relatively provocative, Okay, so there is positive, even so that just goes to show that street art can do a good job, even if it's a bit too much.
And I love the idea of changing reality. I love the idea of coming up, for example, sometimes that there was a famous soccer player in Spain that made up a video just laughing about recycling. And he previously recorded him saying, okay, I'm doing this because this is a campaign, because people hate him for so long. It was a very provocative campaign. And then they put the previous video, we asked him to do so to remove minds people, to do it really ridiculous. Maybe showing up with some swastika somewhere and making people come to change that. I mean, that's the theme of changing reality. It's very strong way of showing that we can all do something.
I definitely completely agree. Yeah.
Thank you, Marta. We have Dovile.
I didn't have lunch, but I was so inspired.
We have Dovile from the Jewish community in Lithuania here.
Yes, hello everyone. Vered, amazing, really inspiring. I can stay in this art field forever next to other traditional ones. I'm sending you the link. You please visit our city, which is capital city of Lithuania, and please plan at least 1 week, and we will arrange you the meeting with the artist.
Okay.
Because we really have it, and we can talk a lot about it. And we once during the European Days of Jewish Culture opened the one mural, and we are planning to do it again. And we will, if we will succeed, we will make it this year. But I'm like making the meeting with an artist. He is like somewhere else outside the country, but we have it in our plan. So so that's it. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If I don't know if there are any other questions. Otherwise, I do have one that I would love to share with Vered. I want to ask you how you think we can encourage these collaborations between street artists, but also involving the communities or cultural institutions to create this kind of projects. No, how can we mix these two very different realities sometimes, street artists and institutions.
Okay, now I think I would bring to the front again my Israelity. I mean, simply call them. So that's my experience. If you're not afraid to make contact with, they would. I made contact with all the art. I mean, almost. I mean, when I did a presentation, I didn't have the time to make contact with all the artists, but all the artists that I written to answered me and were very happy to collaborate. So although that's part of like the image that we have of street artists who are a bit like not really taking part in the community. You're absolutely right about that. I mean, would they be willing to be involved in all that? So the Israelis, of course, I mean, both Vered, Nitzan, they would be happy. I mean, I just send them an email and got a very positive response from them. Again, they might take time. These are not really like organized people, but they answer and they are willing. So you just need to try. And I don't think there should be any problem in bringing together street artists, because they want people to I mean, as an artist, you want your work to be out there. The thing is that would they be willing to do art that relates to Holocaust? That's already depends on the artist. Maybe not all of them would be would relate to the topic. Yeah, but my ideas were also included people who are just doing design of any kind of thing. So it can be, you don't have to be very street artist. Also, by the way, Iris, the Austrian one, she's an artist. First and foremost, she's not a street artist, but she did a street project. So that can also be an idea to bring in artists that might do for this occasion something related to I mean, on the street. Why not expand their portfolio somehow? Yeah, so I wouldn't be afraid of bringing those two words together. Yeah.
That is great, great advice, Vered. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, and since we are already reaching the time limit that we had set, we will conclude today's session and the whole 4 sessions of the Inspiring Memory program. I would like to thank you all for your presence here and your involvement, and especially like to thank Vered again for inspiring us and making us imagine new ideas and projects. Thank you for your generosity. Thanks to our honorary president, Claude Bloch, and our director, Victor Sorensen. Before closing, I would like to close this cycle of Inspiring Memory sessions, thanking all the participants and especially those that have been here for the 4 sessions. I truly think that this has been a great and very diverse range of approximations to the theme of memory. And for those that haven't been able to attend the 4 sessions, I'd like to remind you that all recordings are available at our website and our YouTube channel. As always, for any questions, I am at your disposal through my email. Thank you all very much and have a very nice evening. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
תודה רבה.
Thank you.
Bye.
תודה.